Hey guys, it's Derek Everitt and Adam Beesley from the Deathpiles and Taxes podcast that you're listening to right now.
Your favorite accountant, I know. It's the greatest thing in the whole world.
A lot of you have been asking what you can do to help the podcast out, and seriously, all we want is a review.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's a 5-star review, but if not, be fair, at least a 4.
We know you're listening. Like I said, we see the numbers. We're all over the world. Like I said, it's just we see it. We appreciate everyone listening. Help us get a little higher up there. Help us get more new listeners.
With the algorithms, people can help find us out, and it really does help. So if you can go to Apple, iTunes, that's where a lot of you are already listening, or wherever you're listening.
Spotify, Apple, all of these different things. They're all out.
Wherever you listen, give us you don't even have to write a review, just give us 5 stars. If you want to give us a review, that's cool too. We appreciate it, and keep listening.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Here comes the money. Here comes the money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money.
Welcome, Deathpiles and Taxes listeners. It is amazing to be on the air again. We are having the blizzard of 2021. There's like an inch and a half of snow on the ground.
What do you make me drive in here for? I should have just Skyped you. It's the great blizzard of the year.
Yes.
It's slick out there. You can hear the cars. I'm sure we'll hear them. We had the sirens already going, so
We did have
I'm sure this is going to be an award-winning podcast with fire trucks and people sliding all around your studio.
yeah, my microphone was spinning. It was so excited to be here.
I'm spinning a little bit.
Well, it's tax time, man. I mean, you were here. Like I said, I was running a little late doing taxes. I don't know, man. I know we get into this resale, but this Dogecoin is hot.
You're packed deep, so it's not so hot today. I guess you haven't been checking.
Well, I just mean in general. Like, it's hot. People want to know.
The cryptocurrency, are you referring people to take? What you should be doing is saying, instead of your tax refund, which is currently at X amount of dollars, let's say you're getting $1,000 back, I'll give you I don't know, somehow they buy Dogecoin from you, and you give them some rate. Somehow you got a Ponzi it somehow that you're shorting them about 400. They get 800 in Dogecoin, and you make an extra 4. And the way it's going, you can tell them, oh, you're going to be a millionaire here in a week or two. So you're really taking advantage of me, but I'm going to take this premium off the top to do this work for you.
Now, I think I'd have to get a course from you, because you're the guy into the MLMs. Like, you know more about it than I do. Oh, wow. That was
Here's all you need to know about MLMs is don't ever join one. And sell all the products. There's lots of good people. I don't know. MLMs are their own podcast.
Moving on.
And they're their own thing. You're the one that brought it up.
I know.
But they're interesting, and we're rightful of them.
You were just trying to make me do something I was uncomfortable with, taking people's money for Dogecoin.
You're the one that brought that up, too. I'm trying to talk about selling things on eBay.
You are. You're always trying to right the ship.
And by the way, I left a car here last week. It's nowhere to be found in the parking lot. I saw that movie, Dude, Where's My Car? But, have we been grifted? Do I need to file insurance? Do I need to contact the authorities?
It's parked over at my other house. I told you I was moving it.
The other house?
Yeah.
How many houses do you own?
2 now.
See, you didn't even... We're trying to tell people how to make money online, and you're not even going to tell them about your secret second home?
Well, I just bought it. It just closed last week.
Look at you.
There was a deal I couldn't pass up, so we bought a rental.
Yeah, that's you can't hide money. We've talked about that before.
Hey,
Yeah.
when you have good credit, they'll give you a lot of money. So
Yes, they will.
a lot of money right now.
They want that back with interest, though. That's
2.5%. It's like backwards negative. I don't know how they can afford to give it away.
Hey, speaking of things that you can't afford to give away, I got an investment opportunity for you. Now, you heard about this Dogecoin phenomenon going? See, that's how you do it, son. That's how you do it.
Wow. Well, you're right. You are schooled in the ways of the MLMs.
Oh.
Next thing you know, I'm gonna have bottle caps out of my my death pile. They're selling them for $3 a pop for the next 20
Well,
years.
it depends which bottle cap it is. Now, some of those are investments. Have you ever heard of Mountain Dew or Coca-Cola?
Tell you what, I did go to the grocery store this morning, and there was a large sign saying we are out of Coca-Cola at Macy's.
Ooh.
And I am going to tell you something. I know we didn't talk about it last week, but...
Not Macy's, the department store.
No,
Here we have a grocery
grocery
store called Macy's.
I'll tell you what.
For all you listeners that aren't in Utah.
You want to get into the real retail arbitrage. I'm going to just throw it out there. I know this is our buddy, House of Pop. Check out his eBay store. I got some Diet Coke Feisty Cherry from our buddy over at House of Pop.
Did you get a discount for mentioning him on the podcast?
No, well, no. This is after the fact. Like I said, after I buy anything, I'm going to usually tell people when I talk about it on the podcast. He responded. He's like, well, what's the name of your podcast? And I told him. And an hour and 20 minutes later, he says, I just listened to the episode. It was amazing. You guys are smart. You guys are funny. I appreciate all you do. And I mean, flattery gets you everywhere.
Hey, House of Pop, I know that you're listening on your iTunes device. Go ahead and write that down in a review and give us 5 stars. Also, do you have Mr. Pip Zero?
Ooh, that's
We're looking for Mr. Pip Zero. We can't get it out here. We've talked about doing road trips for that. Get back at us.
He had like some, I don't even, like a grapefruit, not squirt, or like a peach flavored something. Man, this guy had everything weird.
I want the off the grid, the mellow yellow zero. A lot of the zeros.
Yeah.
We're looking for a good zero.
Yeah, because the Husky section can't afford calories on beverages.
Not as much. Those are all empty calories. So they taste great.
Shout out to House of Pop. That was kind of fun. Like I said, I appreciate the Coke, so I got them here for the office. And I tell you what, the ladies here in the office are very excited.
Well, notice I had to bring my own beverage tonight. I didn't get offered a Feisty Cherry.
The fridge is always open.
I know.
The fridge is always
just
open.
give me a hard time. The listeners don't know.
That's true. And I had to move your car because my parking lot was getting full.
Yeah.
Season.
Yeah, you were out painting the lawn. Adam was doing the manual labor.
I'll tell you what. Did I tell you I had to go to the ER because of that?
No.
Yes.
What? Really?
So no, I'm dead serious.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
So about 3.5 years ago, we almost lost me.
Yes.
I had a large I had a
prostate.
Yes. I had a iliac artery dissection.
And I didn't know about it until you came out of the hospital.
Yeah. It was,
so you should have at least called and said goodbye.
I should have. But now we can document it. Like I said, you'll have years of listening out.
Well, if not, I'm going to have to get a new host and we'll just keep rolling.
That's what you should do. I mean, Deathpiles and taxes.
So you almost, yeah, serious, this was a serious.
I re-injured it. So I striped the parking lot because we redid the parking lot. They didn't come back and stripe it. There's no parking, so I said, the heck with this, I'm just going to do it myself. Never done it before. Asked my buddy. Turned out real nice. Fortunately, you can't tell because
it was all snow when I pulled in.
Turned out real nice, Clark. Real good. So I did that, but by the time I was done, Friday I was like sore because I'm fat. I sit at the desk all day. I mean, I got a clicking finger. That's all I do.
You need the blue collar.
Yes, I do not have the blue collar.
Like some of us here.
So Friday I was sore. Saturday I could barely walk. And unfortunately my right leg, what happened is it cut off all of the blood flow. I had 10% blood flow to my leg 3 years ago. So I had to get a stint and to make it right. But Saturday I couldn't even walk. Like I was like 300 years old.
Like the old crippled goose.
Yes. So when I finally got home, my wife was like freaking out. She's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I don't know." Because then he kind of got
like hobbling down the stairs.
Oh yeah, I had to hold the walls.
Man,
it was.
You need to film this and put it on the YouTube. I mean, if you're gonna go through the pain.
It was bad. So then, I was kind of like psyching myself up. Like I got in the shower to see if I was okay, and then I got out and put shorts on.
That's always the move. It's like if I get in the shower, I'll steam it up a little bit.
Yeah,
yeah,
makes you feel better.
Yeah.
And then I got out and put shorts on, and then like I got really cold, and I'm like, I can't feel my leg. It's numb. Like the blood's got to be gone. My left leg was totally fine, so I was like, all right, this is probably serious because last time I almost died. Let's go to the emergency room. So called the in-laws. They came, watched the kids and the baby. First time
like Adam's going to the emergency room again.
First time in 11 months we've ever left the baby because of COVID. So they'd already had little shots. Everybody's good. So we get there, and the only time they could find it the first time was I had to run on a treadmill. Nobody believed me that I was dying, except one tech listened to me, and I says, "Dude, I promise, I'm not making this up. I'm dying." The guy says, "When does it happen?" I said, "Well, when I run." He says, "Well, then let's get on the treadmill and run."
You'd be like your buddy Derek, just don't run.
That's true. So they put all these blood pressure cuffs on my legs, and when I ran, I only had 10% of my blood flow to my leg, and they're like, "Holy crap, this is serious." So that's what happened. That's why I went to the hospital this time, because I did not want to die.
So did they hook you all up again?
No, so I go to the ER and they're like, "Sorry, sir, we don't do that here." I'm like, this is the same hospital. Like, the equipment to do the treadmill is right around. I just did it 2 weeks ago for my checkup. Everything was fine 2 weeks ago. So we asked the nurse, and she's like,
The emergency room, I didn't know they had limitations of what they will and will not do for you. I mean, yeah.
So apparently it wasn't life-threatening. So they told me, no, we can't do that, and it's going to cost $500. And I'm like, I'm not. They can't do anything. I just won't move for 2 days.
I'm going to go home and put some dirt on them and walk this off.
So that's what I did. But on our way home, hot date for Valentine's Day. Here you go. We stopped at the Del Taco and got some chicken tacos.
And do you get that mango taco thing? That looks good.
Somebody told me that today. I need to go get it.
I saw it on the commercial on the TV, and it stuck with me.
If you're just tuning in, this is a podcast about reselling, but we're going to get deep.
I will get there. Don't worry about it.
But we also get lots of food.
We have a good time.
We're,
you can listen to other podcasts, and they'll tell you how to resell things, but you won't have a good time.
No,
they're like, not like this.
They'll bore you to death, and you'll think, man, I need a mango taco.
We trick you into, like, you listen to their conversation, you pick up a few things. Don't worry about it.
I wonder if we get Del Taco to sponsor this next commercial break.
That'd be great.
And we've got all these listeners all over the world.
No, go ahead.
So we stopped at Del Taco, and then my wife ran into Walmart to get some candy, and I sat in the car because I couldn't move.
You should have got you one of them jazzy scooters. Really made it. I mean, your wife have to be okay with it at that point? Say, I want to be supportive. I need to get you some roses. Just walk by me. When you had every opportunity to be okay to do that at this point.
I should have done that. I should.
There's only certain times you can get away with that until you're like, you're like 70s or something.
I will say that's a great idea. Where were you at? I should have asked you, but. Anyways, I went home. Everything was fine. I took the next Sunday. I didn't do anything. I watched TV.
Here comes Adam on the rascal.
Monday, I did okay. But I did. I was smart enough on Saturday because I knew I wasn't feeling well. I have a client who we're going to have on one of these days. He sells items online, builds and make them himself. I won't give away his expertise because there aren't a lot of people who do it. And guy, he killed it this year. Like, he killed it online. So I bought one of these items, went and picked it up at his house because I waited too long to get it shipped to me. Able to pick it up, gave it to my wife for Valentine's Day, and she was happy.
It was good.
It was good.
We went out for dinner, had a little surf and turf.
Yes, you did.
We did good. I got my wife an iPad, and I did well. So
I'd say so. I mean, I saw the pictures, and you outdid your even Red Lobster.
We did well.
You doubled down on the Red Lobster.
We did that, and now I got the Apple TV because of that. So that's something.
Can't hide money.
It's no second house money, but it's pretty good for a reseller. For a reseller, blue collar man, I'm doing okay. I'm scrapping by. And my wife. Now, those of you that don't know, she started listening to the show a little bit, but here and there. My mom listens to every episode and sends me critiques, which I'm happy about. And she wasn't so happy that I name dropped Pam Bishop last week, and I said, "Oh, I've done it before. I'll do it again." There's certain people Anyway. My math. Let's put me up. I'll do a test right now, and you can see what skills were taught.
12 times 10.
I think she's afraid the small town I come from, all listening to this, and they rally for Pam or something. I don't know. I don't think there's probably more in my corner than that one. Anyway, my wife was telling me, and I don't know that she meant this as the compliment that came across as, but her cousin was listening into the stand-up comedian and was putting stuff on Facebook. And she watched the guy's routine or whatever, and she said, "Well, you're funnier than that guy." Greatest compliment in the world. First of all, she often tells me how not funny I am.
That's true.
Second off, this guy is a touring comedian, and she told me I'm funnier than him. So that was like the best Valentine's / birthday / gift or President's Day. Best present I could have ever had from her is that compliment.
You are a funny guy.
And then we get home, and she went up to, so she goes and spends some time up at her mom's house with a niece and nephew who wanted to see us, and I'm at work, and she can't find her credit cards and her money, which she handed to me on Valentine's Day, and somehow I have lost. I've lost, so we had to call a bunch of credit card companies, and any goodwill that I may have had, I'd probably break it even at best. There's a few cash involved. But overall, we'll probably, I don't know, live to see another day. But yeah, not not the smoothest move. I can't find. Just disappeared.
So I almost ended up in the ER, but we had a great time at Del Taco.
I almost ended up in the she's been great about
amazing surf and turf. Your wife told you were funny, but then you turned around and threw away her money.
Which is what I do, right? That's how you do it. When you get ahead,
one step back, 2 steps forward.
It's like the professional golfers. Everyone, you can get par every now and again. From what I'm told, I'm not a big golfer, and you think that you're a pretty big shot, but then you go up there and like Tiger Woods getting like double eagles and stuff, and you're just like, okay. So I had one good hole, and I'm feeling pretty good about myself, and then the next hole I'm like 5 over. So it all breaks even or something like that.
Well, resale's been going good, man. I don't know if you know this, but
that's crazy.
It is a good time of year. People are getting money rolling in from this. Tax time. It's going to start coming in the next 2 weeks.
What I find is weird, and maybe it's just what we're selling. I see a lot of people online, and they're talking about how slow their stores and things have been. I'm busier now than I was at Christmas time and the previous. I am busy. I'm selling. We're doing a lot of sports cards, which is really hot right now.
Now's the time to be doing it.
But there's also other things that are going left and right. I'm putting up a few videos on our YouTube page because I'm trying to get some love because it's the loneliest. Got a letter from Google. They said this is the loneliest YouTube page out there. It's going to die of depression and boredom and loneliness. So Adam's put up how to crack open your PSA cards. My brother Aaron gave me a Pokemon McDonald's. We're gonna get into that.
Oh, I heard about that.
He bought me a Happy Meal. I opened that on the air, and I went to the mail the other day, and they had a kiosk that you can scan your own labels, so you don't have to worry or wait for that lazy USPS worker or lazy or overworked worker, depending on where you're at, to scan it for you.
We got some good listeners, and he is not referring to you.
No, we got some. There's a lot of good. So here's the thing about the post office. There's a lot of good post office workers. They're good hard workers. They work overtime. They go above and beyond. Not even all of ours are bad. I just had a bad interaction with a couple. But a lot of the people that work and deliver your stuff every day, that's a hard job. All those stops and everything. So nothing but respect for the post office, although they're understaffed and overwhelmed. But anyways, you can scan your own stuff. So before you drop it, you scan it, and then you don't have to wait or wonder if that's going to happen. We'll have your metrics. I did a little video about me doing it, but I was filming it myself, so it's not the smoothest, but it will be up there. And content is king, as Adam taught me.
That's right. You just got to put it up. You never know who's going to watch. Did you ever think that Barb would be listening every week? I don't know.
I don't know.
And man, you got your sister. She's just a nice person. I can't believe she's related to you.
That's true. I'm not going to argue it.
Barb, did she do something right with, I don't know, 2 of the 4, 3 of the 4?
They all went to college. They all got like advanced degrees, and then there's me.
I don't know about that.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
but
true.
You did speak at the university.
I did. What did you get there in the mail? Why don't you tell the kids what you got?
I'm trying to reach into the forecasting. I'm doing some forecasting, like with your Doge, your Dodge. What's the right way to say it?
I don't know. I call it Dodge. Other people say Doge. I think it's potato, tomato, tomato.
I said this in the past, and man, if we could get the kind of money that the Gary Vee guys get, we do it. We are. I don't know what we call it, brass knuckle, bare bone here.
Bootstraps.
Bootstrap. That's what we take care of this ourselves. These other guys, they get people to do all their dirty work for them.
Well, it's not hard to go get all this stuff if you have a couple $1 million and a guy that's your professional buyer, then that's their whole job.
Yeah, that's all they do.
That's why I get mad when Gary's posting, hey, get this or get that. I'm like, come buy it from me, but I'm not going to silver platter it to you. Twitter friend.
I talked about cards. We talked about business cards. I talked about this a while ago.
Me and Adam got all excited the other episode about it. So excited that your kid had to ask us afterwards, what are business cards?
He had no idea.
That's how old we are.
So I have a signed business card from Kyle Whittingham, the head coach at the local university here.
The University of Utah.
That's the one. So I'm kind of excited about it. And if you do your due diligence and find it, I'm not going to tell it the price, but I paid less than $10 for this bag.
I can tell you the price, but it was less than a Hamilton bill.
So I'm going to take this and send it in to get graded, and I'm going to have one of the only ones, and I'm really excited about it. I also did some deep diving into some country singer cards, which I'm pumped about too.
Adam's gonna be he's either gonna go. It's either gonna be the best move ever or the worst move ever. I'm gonna wait and see.
I'm I don't know. I mean, I spent $2. Like, I mean, that's less than what you spent on your drink over there.
No, that was actually they were 2 for $1.
Oh, okay.
So it was half the price, but still.
Diabetes in a can times 2.
Hey, my legs work fine.
That's true. Mine are feeling better today. So no, I'm buying some different, like graded, still hot. Like I said, graded.
Oh,
items.
it's going well.
It's pumped.
There's actually some big news from eBay. They're gonna have eBay open this year,
Shut up.
but it's gonna be virtual.
Oh, jeez.
So that's in August.
I'm not going to tell you something. I've got enough virtual conferences. They suck.
Well, they're hoping to have a real one the next year,
I
but it's
know.
better than nothing.
They still suck.
I don't get to go to them because I'm a blue collar, hardworking man.
I do these.
I get all excited about it.
These tax conferences. I've been to these sports card conferences.
They might have some good speakers. They're actually trying to not fix, but with eBay it's weird because you can't just shut down the website and change things. So they kind of have to change it as it's going. So they're trying to revamp some things, and that scares me for the reason of things could go wrong or error pages can occur.
Yeah, like what was it? 18 months ago, they tried changing something and took down everybody's item specifics. And
So
yeah.
Also item specifics. Again, a couple weeks ago when I couldn't talk or think of what I was trying to say, get your item specifics on there that are required. That's coming due, and your things will not be able to be found if you go to your summary page, home page, whatever it is, your seller center.
If you go right to selling on the app, it tells you right there.
How many item specifics are required? The other day I was busting through those like nobody's business. If you don't know what to put, make up something clever, and they won't be found on the Google search, but it will get you through there. So it's usually like color or men's or women's or size, but every now and again it's like, is this a graphic tee or is this a V-neck tee?
Something dumb. Like, I mean, this one is my card, one of my cards, and it wants to know the series, and I don't like.
Is that required?
It's saying it's required. I don't know.
It's probably saying it's not required, but
it's like
recommended. Don't worry about the recommended yet. If you're there and you know what they are, fine, do it. But I've just been doing it through the bulk lister.
Yeah, it says added recommendation.
Okay. There's it's just trying to get other things to come to you. So they're going to be doing some work on the website, making it all shiny and more efficient. But be aware that when they do that, sometimes things go wrong. Also, they were talking about with TerraPeak, which we've been talking about forever. They're going to have some new features on TerraPeak, and one of those features had me interested. Basically, it will tell you what's in demand and undersupplied. So it'll be able to say, this is the percentage, or this is how many inquiries are for this item.
Ooh.
This is how many of this item is posted.
I like that.
People don't use TerraPeak now. When we talk about certain things, the market gets flooded. If it goes out on Facebook and Adam says, hey, I'm buying this Hank Williams Jr. card, and Adam has 1 million followers, that market gets flooded and saturated fast. But for whatever reason, people aren't using the TerraPeak, which is free for most of us. It's just on your eBay summary page again, and you look into research. I'm not sure what this tool is going to be called, but it's going to say, hey, we know a lot of people are looking for blue cleats. So, if you want to sell blue cleats, there's only, 20% of the market.
And there's more.
And there's more. And, that will go for t-shirts, so on and so forth. Use TerraPeak more, get ahead of other people. It's a really good business tool. It was better as its own app, in my opinion, but those days are gone. So for those of you that don't know, TerraPeak is just a service that eBay bought out.
Yeah, it just gives you overall better numbers.
A lot of numbers, a lot of figures, but it also helps you write your titles better, look for what people are looking for, break down the information, and knowledge is power, as we all know.
Can I tell you something that's really got me excited this week?
Yes.
And I can't even watch, I guess I've watched twice, maybe 1.5. Man, our Utah Jazz are kicking butt right now. They are on fire.
They're in fuego.
More than the Dogecoin.
And I knew that I thought last year they'd do good because they're playing in the bubble and there's no crowd. This year it's a restricted crowd, so it might be their year to win it. I know when they win it, it's going to be something strange, like a pandemic.
Right.
So,
and we do still have, I think the largest crowd capacity. I think they're up to 6,000 people now, and we're the largest in the country here in Utah. So,
have you been to any games?
I have not been to any games. I wanted to go to some games, but I have not been. The last game I went to was a year ago, and I saw your buddy, Mr. What's his name again? Luka Doncic.
Okay.
I saw him. In fact, I got the ticket stub right back there.
You send it in to get it graded?
I don't know. It's one of these. It's a pass. It wasn't like a regular ticket. It was to the VIP.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I don't know how those work. The VIP special pass, not a regular ticket like what you're used to seeing, Derek.
Yeah.
This is V stands for very, I stands for important, and P is just people. You just had a regular P.
That's right. So, I brought this up in the past because, like I says, I come from a poor background. Still, Derek talks it up, but I still live very frugally. But I went to the
On this big house on the hill, one of its 2 houses.
Don't even give me that garbage. We go to the buffet inside like the little arena area, and we have all this food, like it's all you can eat. And I've been several times. The one time it was corned beef and cabbage. I love me some corned beef and cabbage.
Potted meat.
In fact, I just bought some yesterday at Costco, so I'm ready to go. But we were there, and it's the ice cream place. And remember, I told you this, like, I took some ice cream, and I took 2 sandwiches, and I made my own ice cream sandwich. And the guy was like...
Blowing minds of billionaires.
The guy was like, dude, I've been doing this for a long time, and I've never seen anybody do that. And I think, what did you say?
So you've never seen a poor person in a suite before.
That's right. So it was a good thing. So I have some good memories of our Utah Jazz in the suite.
If you weren't here, imagine what I could make myself with a steak sandwich and some things.
That's right. It was.
And chicken wings would be on top of this. It would be. This is me behaving myself, guys, so I can get back in your suite.
The problem is I haven't eaten, so all of this stuff just sounds really good.
I'm there with you.
So. That's kind of, we're getting, that's the other good part about this podcast. We got to get back to it, man. We got to go out and eat. We got to get back and go hit the seafood buffet. We got a lot of stuff that this pandemic's just got to end. It's just, be safe.
Numbers are coming. Do your part so that we can go to the buffet again.
Yeah, we got to have.
Me and Adam haven't got our Wendover casino meal in quite a while. We can't see our friends unless we go gambling. It's just how it works.
It's just the only way that
That's the only way it gets cleared.
Works. And we've seen each other on Skype, but it's just not the same.
The text message, everyone's in that same boat. I think numbers are coming down. People are getting vaccinated. Hopefully, eBay Open 2022, me and Adam will be there.
And by be there, we will be speaking in the main event.
I'm not going to go that far. I just want to go there and shake a few hands.
Oh no, we're speaking.
Maybe have a popsicle or 2.
Oh, don't you play coy on
I'll have my drink out there.
You and your buddy Jamie, the CEO.
Introduce myself. I need to follow up with an email because I haven't heard anything back on some things. So
yeah, you're in the circle. I know you've got the inside scoop on several.
But with your country cards, will the circle be unbroken, Adam?
The Ring of Fire. Yeah, I hope it's in Vegas, man. Everything's better in Vegas.
Yeah, it should be fun. So that's something to look forward to. Virtual, you can still. There's going to be information.
Yeah.
So don't poo-poo it yet. If they're asking me to pay any money, well, I probably won't be attending.
Yeah, I've been. Yeah, I don't want to go down that road. I've seen other virtual conferences like they want to charge you $2,500 to be a vendor at. I'm like, for what?
Have your VIP card.
That's right.
Yeah, I'd better get me some ice cream and some
virtual ice cream.
Virtual ice cream sandwiches. I don't know. Adam, do we have a follow-up? Are we done with our cards for dummies, or do we have one more segment?
We're going to hit that up on the last.
I've been liking those. This will be the last one. Coming up, so I forget what it's like to be a new seller. And shout out to our buddy the Legend who started to sell stuff. He sent me some good questions. I think we'll hit them up after this. So I have a continuation series just on when you start shipping, when you start getting things, offering things, just how it works.
We'll hit the eBay 101 Part 2.
For beginners kind of thing.
We've done this before, but we need to hit up Part 2.
Well, when things change.
Yeah, it's changed.
Yeah.
It's gotten better.
You got to think it's getting better.
Oh, it's absolutely gotten better. Life is better now than it was a year ago, I think, right?
Well, after your pandemic slam, I don't know. I used to go to seafood buffets with you in Vegas, apparently.
I know, but reselling game is a lot better.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. Reselling online business, and hopefully it stays this way, or to some extent.
I think it will.
I'm slinging like a Mad Hatter.
I think if you haven't done it yet, now is the time. There are people spending money. If you are listening to this podcast for the very first time right now, and you have not sold something on the internet, go to eBay, set you up a store, go to Facebook Marketplace, Mercari, whatever place you want to. You will be able to sell stuff in like 2 weeks because money's coming to people.
Or sell on those platforms. My wife actually started listing stuff on Mercari that she's selling.
Like I said, the money is coming. Tax refunds will be in people's account in about 2 weeks. Allegedly, this third stimulus may or may not ever be here. Who knows? Money's coming.
But people spend it like it has.
Be ready.
So here's the thing with people. They're not always as frugal as Adam claims to be.
Oh, they're not.
They think, they see a headline in the news and they just start spending because they think that means it's going to happen.
That's true.
And it's not our responsibility as sellers to manage people's budgets and what they may or may not be getting into debt-wise or whatever. I'm here to just take care of myself, and I'm going to sell anything to anyone. And if they can't afford it later, why, they can put it back on eBay and I'll rebuy it from them at a lower price and I'll resell it again.
It's your responsibility. Sell that, make that money. Come to our stores, buy those cards that you really want, and we'll take care of that money.
Go buy you a fancy pop from Bob's Pops. Is that who it is again?
House of Pops.
House of Pops. Was his name Bob?
I don't think it was.
I'm going to make a Bob's Pops and be your biggest competitor now. That's a good name.
That is a good name, but you've got too many other things. You have cards coming out the
I can't find the soda to sell if I wanted to.
I know it's just not here.
The House of Pop has nothing to worry about with me.
The House of Pop's got some good stuff.
Except for maybe a tour someday.
Probably. So.
I could probably do some damage.
Hope you've all had a great getting ready for tax time. Like I said, that's just, you're going to have to file no matter what. You're listening. You got
any good tax stories? This is the time of year when you usually have a few bits of wisdom or some humor about what's been going on. Anything that you can disclose?
I tell you what, the podcast is doing its job. But Adam Up Accounting is significantly busier because of our listeners. Just want to tell all those ones that we're talking with, appreciate it. There's some smart people out there. I mean, that's the cool part with doing what I do. Not only do I get to do taxes, like I get to find out what people make, but now I get to see like the ins and outs of what people are doing in their stores and who's making money and what they're buying, and making the suggestion saying, you paid X amount of dollars in taxes, let's make you a legit S corporation, and I could save you $8,000 by doing that. And people are like, well, sign me up. And honestly, that's the funnest part of my job, is educating people and helping them pay less in taxes, because people are out there hustling, making money right now.
And be one of those people.
I've had several, like I said, we've worked with this week, last week. It's going to happen. So, yeah, get your taxes done, make money, and come spend it on Kyle Whittingham PSA card real quick. Give you a real good deal.
Real good.
Smoking deal. So, D-Roy, let's hit that after the break. We will hit part 4 of the cards for.
You want to go like quads? You're always thrown out.
I got a good joke, but I don't know if it's probably not podcast worthy. Well, it's taxes of death piles and taxes. It is that time of year. We're gonna have to do something. Uncle Sam wants his money.
Who doesn't want their money?
Well, he's got a lot of it, but we all got to put it in the system. That's the country we live in. So, need to file your taxes. Got questions? You want to know more because you're a reseller? It is a little more difficult than it is, especially if it's your first year. You're getting into it. You're going to get these 1099Ks. You get information that you don't know what to do with, and we don't want you to pay any more than you have to. So, reach out to us here at Adam Up Accounting. You can go to our website and check us out on social media. We'd love to help you out. Like I said, we know the resale game. We're here to make sure that you pay your fair share, but don't go back to jail.
Adam, our friends over at Sellhound have outdone themselves. They're giving the Deathpiles and Taxes listeners an opportunity of a lifetime.
They're going to help us make some money, get rid of that death pile, get your items listed, because you can't sell out of an empty wagon.
Man, sell all that you got, kill that death pile. When you go over to Sellhound, use promo code, capital letters, Deathpiles25 to save 25% off of their service.
And get out there and start making some money.
Good times.
That was a good little break there.
Adam brought out the presidents of the United States of America. In all their glory. All their glory.
It's either that or peaches.
Oh, you made a good choice.
I know. You said President of the United States Day, and I figured, you know what, we got to throw something back. You played us The Weeknd over the last one.
That was better than the Super Bowl.
No. False.
You like the Super Bowl halftime better than The Weeknd? Yes, that song?
Well, hold on. What did you say?
The song I put at the end of last week's podcast was better than his halftime performance.
Oh, you're much better than that.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I did say the Super Bowl. I meant his Super Bowl performance. The Super Bowl didn't really blow my skirt a whole lot.
Watching my boy Tommy win, that made me real excited.
This wagon just showed up here. It has a band on it that says Beesley.
It says Tampa Bay. I've got the Tampa Bay shirt. I've sported it all year. Anytime old guys are trying to prove themselves right, you got to be on that.
I sold a Tom Brady card today for $50. It was just a base card from I don't remember what year. It was a PSA 10, but it was like just a common Patriots card. So
Yep.
I'm all for Tommy making me money.
I got the $20 card from the meth head, turned around and sold it for $200. Tommy's my guy.
Okay. Good job, Tom.
There you go. Little break.
Probably hasn't had anyone told him this, but good job, Tom. You've won some ball games. You've won some championships. You've done well in life.
And watching them throw that.
Your wife makes more money than you somehow. You've done okay.
Watching them be on the boat and throwing the Super Bowl trophy between boats. I mean, those guys were having some fun.
I missed that.
You did miss it.
What happens if that goes down in the ocean?
They were so drunk they didn't know what they were doing.
Well, that sounds like, well, I won't get into any of that.
So we're going to get into the part quattro and the ultimate part, the last part of our Cards for Dummies.
The last part of Cards for Dummies Volume 1. Now, it can come back as Volume 2 and start all over again. I mean, who's to say? What's that legalese that's like, is but is not, they word things sometimes and it's like, it, including but not excluding, could be, there's lawyer talk.
I know that's the best part. When you come in and do your taxes and you sign my documents, you don't even read them, but it says all of that in there.
So this could or could not be the last one ever. We have reserve the right to open this back up at any time, start over at Series 1 and or go on to Series 5.
I hope it's helping. Like I said, this is part 4. Go back to a couple episodes. We've had some good questions.
And shout out to the king who presented the questions, and we decided instead of just writing them back or doing a quick format that we do this a little long form, and I think it's been good. I think it's received rave reviews from a few people that we've talked to.
We've gotten several people giving us feedback. Like I said, if you're just figuring out what to do, whether it's cards, whether it's any kind of items, you're thinking about reselling, it's kind of a process. You want to know the best way to do it.
You can apply this to anything, basically. There's a few things that were specific to cards, but for the most part, it doesn't matter if you're selling little dog dishes or cards.
So the question or ultimate part today is, what do you do with like your lower value, or what do you do with your things that you don't necessarily think are home runs? They might be a base hit, or they're not even a base hit. It's like a sacrifice bunt.
Well, I think it was, what was it, your extra cards?
Your low value.
Your low value cards. And that's where, in the sports world and card world, it is a little different. It's the same, though, if you go to auctions. A lot of time in auctions, you'll buy a lot. And usually you're buying...
Whoa, what'd you say?
You'll go to an auction and they'll sell like a lot of goods. Like not a lot meaning a ton, but meaning like the lot value. Like, how do you word that?
So when he's saying a lot, that's basically when you take a group of items and you put them together. And you pay one price for it.
Thank you, Adam.
It's the Frankfurt's the bundle.
The bundle.
You're putting a bunch of things together instead of just buying them individually, one and one and one. You're buying like 10 or 15 or 100.
And the auctioneers know this, and they know, well, there's 2 or 3 good things, but they have to buy. You buy one, you buy them all. It's like this card game that we used to play that was two tie, all tie. You remember that game?
I don't know what you guys did in that small town, but I've never heard of that.
Two tie, all tie was a great game because it was kind of like a heads-up game. You'd flip cards. I do think you'd have to gamble in it, if I remember correctly. But anyways, you'd all flip a card, and if 2 tied, everyone tied, and you had to redraw and re-ante up.
Sounds like war.
It was like war, except for with money. And so you'd have these lots, these bundles of things, and there's usually 2 or 3 high items that people are like, oh yes, I want that. But unable to move the whole auction, they'll put these other lesser value things with them. You get them, and you have to decide what to do with them. With cards, a lot of times if you buy a pack of cards or a box of cards, or you go, and find some in thrift stores or in storage units, there's usually like your stars. You have like your Michael Jordans or your Ken Griffey Jr.'s, your household names, and then you have like Sam Cassell or
Timmy Smith,
Fat Lever, Pooh Richardson.
That'd be the one.
And you're like, what do I do with this, right?
You put it in a bundle, a lot.
So one thing that you can do is you put a lot together and you just sell, hey, here's 100 1990 Upper Deck cards, and you put your picture of Michael Jordan and your Kenny the Jet Smith and Charles Barkley or Shaquille O'Neal, the whole TNT crew out there, so people can see the good cards, but they know if they're buying one, they buy them all. You put it on the card, you put it on eBay, or you take that same bundle and you find a local card store that gives cards to kids like our boy Phil. A lot of times I'll just get a grocery sack and I'll just fill it full of those kind of cards. And I'll go down when I'm shopping with Phil and just say, hey, give this to kids. And he puts them in kind of homemade packs and gives them to the kids because they don't care. They're just going to...
Yeah, they're looking at it. It's not everybody who does it is in for the money. I mean, it's a hobby.
Well, and they're 8 years old. They don't really care. They just, Warriors are my favorite team. They don't know that Chris Mullen hasn't played there for 50 years and that the card's all bent up.
It's true.
They just know they got a Warrior guy. Latrell Sprewell, they don't know that he choked the coach. They just know that he's wearing their gear.
PJ Carlissimo.
And, man, so put those in there. You get your BJ Armstrongs, but he gives them to the kids and then it gets them to where they like cards, so they're buying from us here in 10, 15 years, hopefully.
So it sounds like you're basically giving your future customers a little taste.
I mean, you're not going to sell them probably.
Yeah.
Now, here's one thing that you can do, and I've been experimenting with it. Now that eBay's got the dollar shipping,
we've talked about
which I've been using, I've been listing, I've been trying it out. Just start an auction or a buy it now, and you just put up for sale for $1 and put free shipping. And basically what you're doing with that is you're just giving the card away. But in order to do that, you have to be thinking, why would I want to do that? Well, one, people might look more at other things that you got in your store. It might be a lost leader, as they call it in the business world, where you're putting something out there to get them in there, get them interested. Two, you probably can get return customers because of that. And, somebody takes 4 or 5 cards off your hand. Hey, maybe this guy, maybe Felton Spencer lives next door to him, right? Like, these people, or maybe it's their moms. Like, their kid played in the NBA for a year. He's the neighbor. He's the uncle. He's next door. It's your son. It's yourself. And they buy their own card, but they're not going to spend $50 on that. But it's something cool. And also, a lot of people want to get feedback. One of the reasons I've said you can get feedback fast is buying things, which is true. But also, if you're selling things for $1 and you're shipping it for free, so you're breaking even basically at that, you're probably going to get some feedback off of, hey, it was fast shipping, it was a cheap product, thank you.
Yeah. And that's the thing is it takes a while to get the stars. I mean, what's your star number up to?
Oh, man, I'm a star child. I'm a star man.
I'm up to 112 on my own personal store. My wife's and I think we're like 100 or something.
Adam's got the multiple accounts so that he can. What Adam likes to do is bid on his own items, get some hype going, get the hype train going.
I may or may not have ever done that before.
I hope not. I don't want you getting kicked off eBay. I was just trying to make a joke there. I didn't want to imply.
I said may or may not. I used the legal jargon.
That was the thing I couldn't put together a minute ago.
I know. So, I mean, you got to have feedback, you got to have things, and people see that. And like I said, get them into your store.
It's the same, like, if you get t-shirt bundles and stuff, maybe you bought it so that you could get the Rolling Stone concert. Oh, I have something cool to say here in a minute. But,
about time.
Yeah, well, people have been waiting patiently. It pays off. Let me tell you how many stars I have first before I get into something cool to say.
Well,
I have a red star and 3,612 feedback. Positive, all 100% positive right now. Knock on wood, going to be getting some stuff this week apparently because that's how that goes.
So that's kind of the idea is if you want to get people into your store, I know it sounds weird, but that's usually what I do. If I find something that I like, I see what else that person is selling because usually if you have one thing, it's like, oh, this guy's got other stuff, and it's really a way to get people to find your items instead of searching the fast foreverness of eBay.
And I know that it takes time to list things, get things up, so I'm not saying, like, just put yourself in a money pit or a work pit, but if you got some, I'm just trying to make it different than sports cards. If you got your t-shirts, or you got some business cards, or you got whatever you're flipping that might not be doing well, I got a bunch of He-Man that I went all in on Christmas, and my wife said, hey, you need to clear house on these. You didn't sell them. Do that walk of shame back to Walmart. And I said, I'm not going to take this much back to Walmart. She said, well, do something because, cash, grass, or something else. Nothing rides for free in this homeboy. And I said, okay, they'll sell. Trust me, they'll sell. Well, I know how I'm selling them. I put the price right back down to what you can buy them at Walmart, and I've been shipping them across the country, but it's clearing house. Sometimes you make a mistake or things just don't go like you think they would. but I'm selling them at cost. So maybe you bought a bunch of t-shirts that you thought were going to be the bee's knees, and you're not going to long tail them, you're not going to sit on them, and you just want to move them, put them down to about what you paid, try to break even, and you're shipping things out. Sometimes it's weird with the eBay algorithm that we talk about a lot. Like, we don't know how it works exactly. We know if you start listing things, start selling. If you accept offers or you start selling things, usually after one sell happens, like 2 or 3 come in. It's kind of like that coin machine that we've talked about before, the quarter pusher. Like, you keep putting quarters in, but as soon as you get that good nudge, like, not only does one quarter go, but it gets that weird corner that has like the grasp of like 20 quarters or whatever, and they all just fall real fast. So
I'll tell you one
there's
thing
some advice
that I have done is, for some reason, like, people think that they're getting a good deal if there's a lot of something. So if you have a lot of cards, and not like a lot, if you have several,
a bundle,
plethora of one card or one item,
may or may not be included or excluded.
I will tell you that I went all in, and I bought Bill Belichick. I bought 85 of his cards because somebody had in a bundle for $70. I bought 85 of the same card for $70. Now, there's no way this person could have sold all of these individually, because they're not selling that many. But I saw it as an opportunity of saying, if I buy these, really figure out this grading thing, send in these ones, and now I've just paid, one card sale pays for all of those for me.
Or you sell them all back at $90.
Yeah, it all depends on what you're going to do. Yeah, I'll wait. And this is the other thing. We talked about the low value items. You put things on, people will bid you up, or they'll give you a lowball offer. I just had a couple, and I'm like, turn it off. I'm like, why did I even have it that low? I had something listed, and I'm like, I don't even want an offer. I just decline an offer until it's above $85 or whatever the dollar amount is. But something you might think is low value now could be worth a lot of money in the future. Ask Mr. D-Roy and his rock cards.
That could be, or it could go the opposite way, like your Luca. I mean, that's the game, right?
My $800 Luca up there that I couldn't sell for $400 right now.
So that's with everything. Some things are hot, some things aren't, some things are vintage. That's why we do our research. And some of it's forecasting and prognosticating.
Whoa.
Is that, Jimmy will give me the correct way of saying that. I can't say words when the microphone's on.
Prognosticate.
Prognosticate. What was the one I couldn't say the other week? I can't remember.
Vestibula.
No.
I think it was vestibula.
It was something like easy that I could put together. But anyways, let me tell you this story real fast. I think that kind of covers that.
Yeah.
I mean, either bundle it together, maybe go to a local flea market. You can always donate it too. Yeah. Adam, how much you get if you donate stuff on tax credit?
You don't. That's a good question, and everybody wants to say, well, this is what it is. You can get up to $2,500 as a itemized deduction, but you have to have interest on your home. You have to have, charitable donation. You have to have more than $24,000 of all of those things before you say, well, I donated this much to whatever place. You can really get a real donation up to $2,500, but you have to have some pretty good receipts. Anytime it's more than that, there has to be an official appraisal done on it. So there's other times that I've had people that have really legitimately given that much, but it has to be within a realm. And even at that point, you don't really get that big of a tax deduction. Depends on how much money you make, but realistically, you'd be better off selling it. You just would.
So your Stacey Ogden cards that you're donating aren't going to bring in?
They're not going to save you a lot of money on taxes.
But you can still donate them, clear it out, your house.
Or like I said, put together a huge pile and say 2,000 cards and sell them for $100, because people are all about that gambling and they don't know what could be in there.
And you don't know what could be in there.
Yeah.
There's many times when I thought I had nothing, and then I go back through like a year or two later.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, oh, that's a Lamar Jackson rookie card. He turned out to be a pretty good little ball player.
He did be.
Oh, look at that. That's J.J. Watts' brother.
Who's this Tyler Harrow guy?
Yeah, exactly. I was doing some lives, and if you go on our Facebook, you can find them. And I was opening stuff that we get at Phil's. I like to do that, but I'm going more on YouTube now to try to boost up some of that stuff, and I don't do it a whole lot. And I was going through, he had these rookie packs, right? And I found, I can't even remember, there's some player that's been really good that There's a lot of these in there.
Zion Williamson.
It wasn't Zion though. It was
Ja Morant.
it might have been Morant. It was either Morant or RJ. Was that
Barrett?
Barrett. It was one of those two. And I'd open these packs, and they were like these Prism cards. I'm like, I can't believe these are in here. And I was just loading those up, and I was going through, and I was kind of putting some to the side, and it was probably during the playoffs, and our buddy Mike Painter's like, well, I don't know about those other ones you're getting, but those Tyler Hero that you're throwing off to the side there are probably pretty good, probably doing pretty well. And I'm like, oh crap, yeah, I didn't even know. Like, and then I look at it, I'm like, holy cow. And there was a Bam, somebody else that plays for the Heat.
Adebayo.
And he's been doing pretty well.
Yes.
And so those packs ended up, the big stars that I was after, I got a few of those, and I was happy with it, but some of these other players turned out to be, stars in the finals, and now they're doing really well.
Yeah, you don't know what it's really worth.
So some of that stuff is, if it's rookies, I'd say just put it aside for a little bit. But if you're selling a big pile, there's no way of knowing, even encyclopedias, but there's no way you're going to know everything, condition-wise or other words. So you might think they're low value, but somebody might be trying to complete their whole set, and you have a few cards that they need. Somebody just might want to take that gamble and say this guy doesn't know what he's got, and you just got to be good with knowing that, hey, I'm selling this in bulk and I'm moving product.
And know this: if it's not listed, it will never sell. So get it listed.
Or here's another thing: come summertime, hopefully things are better. Yard sales are great for that. I did this summer. We went to my mother-in-law's house. I think we talked about this on the podcast. We had a big family yard sale.
You did.
I was flipping purses that I'd been stuck with and couldn't get to move. T-shirts, just things that you kind of pile up in your death pile. You're like, I don't even want to list this. We were going to have a big one at Adam's house, but it never happened because we didn't know which house to go to. He has so many of them. And no, it was going to be the other one. Your wife was with child and some different things going, then we had a pandemic hit.
Yes, it was
I'll bail you out on that one.
Unfortunate timing.
But now you got two, so we can do we can do
several locations.
Several locations. What I was going to say is, so I've been doing a little thrifting this week.
You were talking about Rolling Stone, right?
Well, here's the thing. So I went down to a secret spot that has been exposed. So I was all excited on, I think it was Saturday morning. My wife had to work. So I'm like, I'm just going to drive down to this area that's about 2 hours away, give or take. And I'm going to go find, because there's usually cards in the Walmart, and I'm looking for these wrestling figures, and it's usually an untouched, just a gem. It's usually a little treasure spot. And I thought, I'll go do that. I'll stop at the McDonald's, get something real good to eat.
McRib?
I think it's gone.
Oh,
I'm not sure.
I didn't get my last one.
I'll get me a quarter pounder with some cheese. They're supposed to be coming back with that orange high C drink. Have you heard anything about this?
I love that orange high C drink. It's partially what gave me diabetes.
It's going to give me the full-blown diabetes. That's supposed to be coming back, so I'm like, I'm going to get one of them. Long story short, I get down there, and somebody had been there. And so I'm like,
The secret is out on your side.
Oh, there's nothing there. I'm like, well, at least the wrestling figures will be there, because, nope. So I'm like, well, that was a waste of a trip, basically. And they have a thrift store in town there.
Uh-oh.
And so I'm like, well, I'm going to go hit that thrift store because no one's, So I go over there. It doesn't open until 10 a.m. This is about 9:30 in the morning. I'm like, well, I can get my happy little self on the road half hour back, or I can piddle around town here for a little bit. So
You piddled.
I piddled. I went down to, they have a Home Depot, so I went down to the Home Depot for a little bit and didn't do anything too productive. Then I went back over. No one had hit this thrift store in a while. I sent you a picture of a Prump saddlery.
I saw that.
That was sitting there. I found a 1970s original Journey t-shirt.
Oh, boy.
And it was an original shirt. I'm guessing it's worth a few $100s. I haven't looked it up yet. I just was like in awe. I looked at the copyright on it. I made sure, because you'll find concerts in the new Journey that has like the fifth lead singer, and those could be worth some money. But if you get the ones that were from like the 50s, 60s, and 70s, as far as merchandise goes, even early 80s on a lot of these bands, they can be worth some money. Now, obviously, Journey was pretty popular at their time. You usually want like some gangster rap or some hardcore metal. That's where the real money's at on a lot of these shirts. But
that's true.
But I was pleased as punch, so I hurried and put that in my cart. And then I went over to the glass case, and it's funny what different people think is important in a glass case. It was like an abacus. What's that things that you count with?
Agabus.
It was one of them.
Agabus.
It was like those kind of things, and I'm like, nobody wants this. And it was like needlework, and like this is not valuable. And then I went over, and they had like, VHS. They had a ton of VHS tapes, which I didn't think those were still around anymore. And they had the floppy disk, the 3.5, like the save button.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking
They had a
about.
bunch of those, and I was like, oh man, those got to be worth something to the collector. They weren't. So I went through, I got a few good shirts. I got that Journey shirt, which had me kind of excited. And I got in the car and I drove home. But
It was a good time had by all.
by me, I was all.
Oh, well, I enjoyed the story, so do I count?
Everybody that listens now enjoyed the story, but point of the story is I thought it was a bust, and I could have just went home. I could have just cried myself home, but I decided to do a little extra effort, and I think I was rewarded because of it.
Please tell me it was that shirt.
It was actually, it might be that same year. It wasn't black. It's a white shirt. I'll take a picture at some point and put it out on. I will, when I go to list it, I will put it up on our Facebook page. That may be this week or it may be in 5 years from now.
I need you to make a commitment telling us that you will list that bad boy, because
Get some Cellhound
wow.
in action. See, here's my other thoughts is I'm doing a lot of cards, but we're to the point where we're waiting for cards to get ready to come back. So I need to just get on the Cellhound wagon and start taking pictures of the clothing and get that going as well. And that way I can be a double threat.
Because, yeah, you're going to need some money to pay for all that grading you're getting.
Well, they'll pay for themselves once they get here, but the problem is you're waiting, 6 months to a year to get them back, so you have some large gaps in between. You get your stuff listed, what you're supposed to do on that death pile. And instead of doing all the work and adding all the item descriptions and stuff, I use Deathpiles, all capital letters, 25, and I get a big discount from our friends over at Cellhound and Suzanne, but really it speeds up that process to where you just take pictures and they do all that hard work for you. And with some of this stuff, they know a lot more about it than I do.
So I know what Derek's talking about, this Journey shirt that he's, and like I said, the only way, go into eBay, type it in, look up the solds, look up what's on the market. I mean, depending on this shirt, and this is going to sound crazy, how much did you pay for the shirt?
Like $2.
Depending on which shirt.
Couldn't take it off the rack fast enough.
I mean, there's some that have sold for $300, $225, $150. I mean, $150. There's ones that listed for $1,000. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't know if they'll get it, but you don't know. I mean,
Open to offers, right?
You paid $2 for it, so it's well worth. I always say, people are like, well, it's reselling. What would you really do? Would you sell it for that? I always treat everything like if I was in Vegas. If I had $2 down on the table and I could walk away with, I don't know, 75, would I do it? Heck yeah, I would. And honestly, like, it's fun. It's like gives you the same kind of.
Oh, I got a little rush when I found that, and I don't know why. I'm like, this has been sitting here probably for a while.
Yeah.
But I started looking around at people like, who's gonna steal my stuff? Like, I get that competitive edge.
Oh yeah.
I went over to Savers today because we did the podcast a little late, and I was over with work. I went on a secret mission for a few different things. It was kind of the same thing. Like nothing was really hitting. Savers was pretty full, and I started getting that competitive. Like who's going through my stuff. So I'm going through the shirts. And not finding a whole lot, and there's somebody on the other rack, and I see a Pittsburgh Steeler,
Ooh.
and I'm like, oh, that's going to be a jersey. I'm like, oh, that's going to be worth some money. I don't know why. I thought, like, who's it going to be? And they're like going by, I'm like, oh man, they better not steal. They better not get that. They better not. So then I go around to it once they're gone. It's a Pittsburgh Steelers hoodie, and they wanted like $40 for it, something crazy. I'm like, oh yeah, good thing you got worked up about that one. It's still there. So, but no, I was there. I was actually. It was weird because there were some things that were like $2 or $3, and then there's things that were like $29, and there wasn't a big difference on some of them.
You just never know until you try. So hopefully, like it says, this podcast giving you some encouragement. Hopefully, it gives you a little better into what to do with some of those low value items. Like I said, you are not going to sell it unless it's listed. Get that more money so you can do what you want with it.
Even like a Facebook Marketplace on something, just say, I got this tote of. I wouldn't say crap, but total stuff. I'll sell it for $5 or free local pickup. Come get it. Don't give them your tote, but like people will take it, man. Then when they get over to the house, you might say, "Oh, are you into cards?" Yeah, I haven't been in it for a year, trying to get my kids into it or whatever, and be like, "Hey, I got these graded cards. Like, if you were interested, like, I got this Tom Brady here, and he had a Super Bowl win. I'll give it to you for $75 now." Well, they're online right now. This guy is yourself, but they don't know that. He's asking $90 for it. but it's the same card, and I'll give it to you for $75.
D-Roy has always got the ins, the outs. This guy's making more money than other people online. I hope you follow him on the social media.
And less than others. But yeah, come on social media. It's always fun to pick up new followers and friends, and we've tried to be a little more active on there.
We're doing our part to make this fun.
I'm excited to go up to the big. I know Jimmy wanted to go there. I think Brian, second favorite Brian, but he's a good guy. I wanted to go. I think we should get a group of people. I don't want to prognosticate when we'll do it, but here in a few months, there's a place up us locally, and anyone can fly in from around the country or world to participate.
Trifecta.
But there's a Trifecta, and then there's like a Walmart that's there for the cards. Target's got this new thing with cards nationwide. I don't know if you've seen that, but they have a sign that's limited to 3 per customer.
Yeah.
So there should be more on the shelves. So I just think we go nuts, and we go up there and have a good time. That's what I'm all about.
There's a lot of good time to be had. So enjoy what you're doing. Keep track of it all. And D-Roy, thanks for dropping your knowledge today. But what are those 2 things in life that are for certain, buddy?
Well, you're gonna get in a fight at the McDonald's over your Pokemon cards. We didn't even get into all that.
We did not get into that.
Let's see. There's Deathpiles
and taxes.